Hi, I'm Sue Beer,
And I'm Emma Roberts, and we're co-founders of the EFT Centre in London.
and we're also the originators of the Diploma in Integrated Energy Techniques. And we offer a qualification which gives you IET and an NLP practitioner certification. And we've got a few questions, I think, haven't we, from people who are thinking about doing the training. And so we thought we would share some of the questions and answers to hopefully give people out there information. So
the first question is what are integrated energy techniques and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming? What actually are they? What do they consist of the training? What do you get? So
yeah, okay, great. So I think it's Jane that's asking the question, and basically what is it? What does the training consist of?
So it's a 3-module training. It's 3 weekends of 4 days each weekend. Well, actually the final weekend is 3.5 days. And it incorporates what we think are the best therapeutic pieces of NLP combined with energy techniques, EFT, in a metaphysical framework.
Yeah, and along the way it kind of includes some basically cognitive psychotherapy, and in a nutshell it's kind of 20 years, I think, from both of us of paths that we've studied, brought together to give you the essential elements of the range of the best approaches from hypnotherapy, psychotherapy and energy psychology.
We also offer a top-up hypnotherapy training to get a qualification with the American Board of Hypnotherapy if people choose to do that afterwards.
It's very hands-on. It's a very practical training.
It is. It's a lot of fun. People bond for life.
Yeah.
If you go to our website, you'll see a couple of video testimonials really about people's experiences. But people do make friends for life. It's quite intense, sometimes challenging, but ultimately positive. We're told.
Yeah. Okay. And I think Jane is saying, you know, what is it, and what do we kind of do on the training? I think she wants to kind of know about the nitty-gritty of what we do. It's not a theoretical training, is it? I think this is
very experiential, very hands-on. It's
yeah.
on Zoom, but it's kind of live on Zoom. We hold your hands the whole way through. There's a lot of practice, so it's actually a self-development training anyway, whether or not you're a practitioner. So we have some people who just want to do it for their own self, their own growth, which is absolutely fine. It's a kind of supercharged path to growth, if you like.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much the emphasis on, as with all our trainings, the emphasis is on the practical, and we firmly believe that people learn best when they're having fun, and they don't even notice they're learning.
Yeah,
and so that's our approach.
Yeah,
really, with this, even though the content is obviously serious.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's ideal for people who do want to be practitioners or coaches, therapists, but it's also perfect just to do for yourself, just because you can. And what you will end up with is essentially the dual qualification, as we say, which is the Diploma in Integrated Energy Techniques alongside the NLP practitioner certification, which is the internationally recognised NLP qualification.
So then we had a question from Anthony, I think it was, wasn't
it?
He says, I'm already an EFT practitioner. Why do I need to do this? What will it offer me?
Okay, I mean that's a really good question. In a nutshell, it gives you an in-depth understanding of I would say, the language that underpins successful, effective EFT practice, which there's no way that we or anybody else actually has time to kind of teach an understanding of that in the EFT training, which is essentially, it's only 2 days or three days. So it's going to give you an understanding of the principles of how effective therapy works, that goes way above and beyond what you can do with EFT.
So it's understanding the unconscious communication that every client offers as soon as they show up in your therapy room. It's like learning how to understand that, how to use that in a positive way for effective change.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like learning a second language. It's a bit like learning French or German. You know, there is a language of the unconscious which is being spoken and is operating all of the time. And once you know how to communicate with that and understand that, it then informs the way that you are with clients, and it informs the kind of questions that you ask, and it changes. It will change your practice completely.
I mean, the way it got put together was we were doing big presentations with Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, 300 people, 400 people, and people were coming up to us and going, "But what are you doing? You're not just doing pure EFT. There's something more than that that's going on here." So we had to think quite hard about that. And we took apart what we were doing laboriously, and then put it back together in a kind of neat, easy to learn,
step by step
process. Yeah.
And I think the really important point is that we work with the energy of the heart intelligence. I'm the author of Healing the Addicted Heart, and the heart anchor is something that we've developed through that work, which is a really kind of important part of the work with IET. So it creates a sort of interaction between the physical and metaphysical levels that we operate at in our sessions with clients and with ourselves. So that is really what makes it different, I think, working with the energy of the heart in the way we do.
And we've been working with these techniques and with EFT for, well, over 20 years now.
So
each. So
kind of refined it. Yes.
Yeah. So we are active therapists. We have client base and things, so we're learning continually as we go along still. But this is all based on our experience of what works and what doesn't work has been dropped. And so we've distilled all that knowledge of all those many years and many courses as well, plus all our wonderful clients, into this kind of step-by-step process that allows you to take the best of that out into the world afterwards. So that's a very long answer, Anthony, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to add a bit more, Anthony, I'm sorry about that. But what I was going to say is that our experience is that people who have only done EFT training often lack the confidence to really work with people. They feel that there are areas that they don't really know. What do I do if the client gets very upset? There isn't a simple answer to that question, because there are all sorts of things that you need to know well before the client even gets upset, which have to do with being able to read the unconscious language which is being offered to you. So it takes more time. The EFT training can't really give you what you need to be able to. If you want to have a sustainable career over a long time working with people, which is what we've both done, you need to have more really than the EFT training is brilliant, and obviously that's why it's the basis of this. It's the prerequisite. You have to have done EFT level 2 to do our diploma, but it's not all that there is. So yeah, very long answer.
And then Rachel finally wants to know if there's a lot of coursework, what goes into the practicalities of it, if you like.
Okay. Well, there's some pre-course training materials that we give to you before coming on the diploma training, and that actually clocks up quite a lot of the hours to cover the NLP practitioner certification.
Yeah.
So that's quite important. It gives you a foundation before you come on the training, which gives you a sort of familiarity with some of the NLP terminology, and it just gives you a kind of foundation. And once you're actually on the training, you've actually completed the bulk of the written work by doing the pre-course. It's like a big questionnaire that you do. That's really the NLP side of things. That's then the last of the written work that you need to do for NLP. And then we give you practice sessions to do with each other between module 1 and 2, and then again between module 2 and 3. It is very hands-on. The important thing is that you go off and practice with each other, or with other people if you have access to other people to work with. And we ask you to write up usually sort of like 2 out of 4 of those.
2 out of 4, or maybe 2.5.
with a little something added. It's not about writing great long essays or dissertations, none of that. And so the only work that you get to do, which we like to think of as play, is between the modules. By the time you get to the end of module 3, there's an assessment on the afternoon of the last Sunday, usually, for your IET. And that's just running a session which we observe, but we have seen you working hundreds of times by that point, so it's kind of a formality. And then there's the NLP assessment, which is kind of run on the same basis the following morning. So that's the half day of the last module.
But we do have an
3.
external assessor for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and essentially it's again it's running a practical session, which you'll be observed doing, and that is it. That is done and dusted. So you go off at the end of module 3, essentially, with your IET diploma and your NLP practitioner certification.
Yep.
Hurrah!
And people do pass it. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of challenges, but actually at the end of the day, we don't do failure.
No, we don't.
We don't, and we do. We support you the whole way through. So we fine tune that, we discuss. It's very, very much hands-on but supported. We're there with you every step of the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for us, it's very exciting because we kind of see people emerge, kind of like little ducklings emerge and fly off, and then they're doing. We've got IETs doing amazing work out there now, really amazing.
Yeah, we certainly have.
We've been running this for over 15 years now, so there's a lot of experienced people out there now.
Exactly, contributing and bringing joy to us because we like doing it so much.
Yeah. So if you are interested, if you want to learn more, there's obviously a lot more information on our website, which is the EFTcentre.com. But otherwise, do email us. It's a financial investment. We're open to taking payment in instalments, provided we get a deposit and instalments are paid for by the beginning of the next course. Our email address is hello@the-EFTcentre.com. I should just point out the centre spelled the English way with an R-E, centre, C-E-N-T-R-E. But we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for listening to us.
Bye.